Alright guys, so we have some ways for math updates and reminders. It's that time of year again, it's actually gone by pretty fast. We have like 2 more weeks left in November. And so in December 1st is when actually the region will actually Maps Growth opens the window, which is December 1st. Yeah, so it's coming by pretty fast, so we have to actually do this so we can get the oaths in for all you teachers. So, so it should be pretty fast and furious. Okay, so testing windows. Alright, so you can see here for elementary, our map growth opens December 1st through the 16th. And then fluency actually opens up December 1st also, but then it goes into January 16th. And we will be sending you this PowerPoint because there's gonna be some live URLs that you can click on, and there's the handbook and other things that you can actually click on.
Yeah, totally.
To assess.
Tons of
Yeah.
use. Do you have any questions about the testing window at this point? It's coming quick, right? Can I believe we're at this stage, that we're in the middle of year?
Exactly.
Should have opened it up with
Right, exactly.
Ms. Herrera, can I say something real quick? I just wanted to quickly, hearing this, my son's getting married in December on the 12th, so I won't be here on, it's a Friday, I don't know, they do this on a Friday now. But anyway, the 11th and 12th, I won't be here. If you guys that I have kids with could do your map testing, then that would be amazing. Because we cannot be missing their services. The district is all over it. So if by any chance at all, the 11th and the 12th of December work for you, I won't be here. And I'd rather than miss, you know, the map testing when I'm not here, because if we can.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's feasible, we'll certainly try it.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about testing logistics. We're actually gonna, I'm not gonna go into the link on this, because this is something. Are you guys ready? We class.
We are.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Ellis. Mr. McKinney. Okay, we're gonna go through the logistics, so any questions that you guys have, we kind of have the same questions that come up every year. This is the perfect forum for us to get it all out and try to figure out where the disconnects are or the misunderstandings. So as we go through it, please interject if you guys have questions, okay? Alright.
Okay, so here are a few reminders that all teachers and proctors must read and follow the new MAP handbook guidelines. Now, you can definitely click on that link for the handbook. If you haven't printed out, it's something that you probably should, because, you know, having it handy and ready to go, just in case if you had any questions when you're testing, or if you wanna, know what the criteria for retesting is, everything is in there, so, it's definitely handy. Every student that tested grades and or course is required to map growth test, so that means everybody should be testing, unless they have an IEP that states that they do not, you know, they don't test benchmark or any type of, any kind of benchmark testing within the district.
And that would probably be only Mr. Huckberry's, because
Yeah.
he'd be the only one, everyone else they should be testing.
This is something new, guys, they really want the teachers to set up their testing sessions early, so, they can kind of keep track of your accommodations, make sure that all those accommodations in are for your students, and then also whoever, your special ed teacher, you know, their caseload, making sure that they also have all those in there. And so that's something new that they're trying out this year, so maybe, just starting up those sessions early, creating them.
Wait, they're putting in their accommodations?
No, what they can do is go in there and they can look to see what accommodations have been provided.
But do it earlier rather than later, because if there's an issue.
Yeah.
Or something, you know, is not working the way it's supposed to be working, it's really hard to do that on testing day. And we don't, have that stress of that, so if you did it beforehand, it'd be a lot easier. And we can troubleshoot, because if you're having a problem, somebody else is probably gonna have it as well. So it's great for troubleshooting.
And of course, K through 1 is small group, that's required. And then second on up is whole group testing, okay? And usually if you have a small group within second grade on up, it's usually a documented accommodation that the child needs small group.
Any questions? That's all the same, pretty much,
Yeah.
with the exception of setting up your accommodations a little bit earlier.
And then, of course, morning testing is highly recommended. And we all kind of been doing this for a minute, so.
Y'all agree with that morning tested is the best?
Yes.
They're probably better in the,
Yes.
preferably before lunch probably, right? Cause after lunch they get a little.
And on the
little
11th
frisky.
and the 12th.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so here are a few reminders, and you guys already know this is just good practice. Refer to the fall presentation again for reminders about your testing environment and starting your testing session. It's not necessary to cover your walls. We're gonna talk about accommodations in just a second. But of course, kind of have the kids spread out a little bit, you know, have them comfortable, answer any questions beforehand before they get started. Please prepare your students for testing, review testing procedures from the fall presentation. You can see all of that in there as well. One thing in here, let's see, to ensure a successful day of testing, students should know the purpose of the assessment and what to expect. If you use goal cards, remind students to record these results once the testing is complete. This is something that, the district, as we're going to our trainings and things, they're really focusing on setting goals with kids, all the way from kinder, all the way through 5th grade, okay? Just out of curiosity, can y'all raise your hand if you set goals with kids currently? I know a lot of you are already doing that, especially in the upper grades. How are you guys doing it? What specifically are y'all using to set goals? Like, I know I was in a classroom and the teacher literally had an Expo marker and wrote, this is your goal, this is the number you wanna try to get, and they just wrote it right on their desk. That was one way that I saw, and it was good, because it was enough to get the student taking ownership of that test and truly doing their best, and giving them some sort of a gauge, because if they don't have a gauge, they're not gonna do as well. Michelle, what do you guys do in your room? I know that y'all do it.
We have the little flamingo cards and then they.
Flamingo.
Take the cards. Yeah. We're flamingos that day too.
Oh, you take it home, you take it home to the parent? I love that. Okay. What are some other, what do y'all do guys?
I told my kids last year, and I'm doing it again this year, if their scores went up by at least 5 points, they got to go get a sticker. If they went up by at least 10 points, they got to go to the global treasure box. If they went up by at least 15 points, they got to go to the big treasure box. So that pushed each kid on their own.
Okay,
It didn't, you know, it wasn't just my high flyers, it was my low ones trying to push themselves up too.
okay, I love that.
And it worked, it so worked.
Yeah. Your dad is pretty good. For sure. Sniper, what are you guys doing?
We have data folders.
Okay, are y'all all using data folders?
Yes.
The whole grade level?
Mhm.
So y'all have the same one, the same sheet for all 3 subjects? So they know what to do?
Are you using favorites? We have it for math,
Do y'all do it for science too?
yes.
Love it, I love that.
And then, for the math testing, we like to give them their sticky note with their previous score, and they have to try to beat that.
So you give it to them prior to testing?
Yes.
They have it on their desk the day of testing.
Oh, okay, you put it on a sticky note and put it on their desk,
Yes.
so they have a goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love
They
that, that's
also
good.
have it in their folder, but it's nice for them to have it on their desk that day, as a little motivation.
Yeah, a little motivation. And that works for the lower grades too, I mean, that's 5th grade, but it's not just the uppers, it definitely, look at Beth. You read that little number, they're gonna work toward that. I always say, kids will do anything for a Skittle, one Skittle. They will give you the right arm for a Skittle, something that might be. Yes, ma'am?
When I was in the classroom last year, I did the sticky note,
Okay.
and then they could see like the score once they submitted. So that was like in real time, they could see if they met their goal or not. And then those that met their goal, I get them like, I mean, I know it was kind of extra, but I would buy them lunch, and it would be like nuggets or something. But it in the end, it was like, you know, those that met their goal, so it wasn't the whole class.
Okay.
But then, you know, there's only 3 tests a year, so they would have another opportunity at the end of the year to do it if they didn't get it, maybe in the middle of the year. So they had something to work towards, and they knew that it was something bigger, it wasn't, you know,
It'll,
yeah. I mean, but that worked
it
for
wasn't
them.
ones, you know.
Let's get a one.
I'm telling you, when you get
We're positive, yeah, because sometimes it's like I buy them like a cookie, or it'd be like a, I don't know, a pack of Oreos or something, like, it didn't have to be lunch, but, yeah, whatever.
what grade was it?
Fourth grade.
Fourth grade, yeah. All right, does anybody have anything different that we haven't discussed, any other way of tracking? Yes, ma'am?
I know we have also the data, like folders.
Y'all use the data folders as well?
Yes, and like in the past, and I usually just have the skills page, and I just color every time I master.
So is it like a bar graph that they're coloring?
They do have the color for certain, like if they go math, but just for a skill in general for them, they got on. If they learn the sounds, they learn the
Okay.
Also, I know Panda, if you reach out to them, they can make you like the data cards,
They will,
deliver them to the campus.
yeah, and we actually did that with the upper grades last year, y'all remember we did that with Panda?
Yes.
Was that helpful for y'all to have those? Cause we can definitely do that again. Yeah, I like that too. Okay, so from kinder all the way to fifth, guys, data tracking, teaching these kids what goal setting is all about, so important to get that student buy-in. Cause we know they need it. I'm sorry, I don't know why these little things keep popping up. After class, if somebody knows how to turn that off, please come see me. I tried.
I learned it off of my
out.
computer too.
There's gotta be a way to turn them off, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then troubleshooting questions, we're gonna talk about that in just a second. Okay,
Okay, so Math Fluency opens December first, and then it goes all the way into January 16th. With first grade is a little different, they actually do the dyslexia screening. So, here is linked the screening process. You also have the administration directions and then the screening handbook, okay? And, it's just a guide for you, it's basically similar to what we did last year, same thing for kinder, they also do a screener. EOI, but MOI is when first grade actually does that screener. So you'll have your time from the 1st to January 16th to get that done. And it has plenty of directions. I also printed out the how to assess that within the Math Fluency, where to click on, where the benchmark pieces. So if you have any questions, definitely get with me.
and obviously everything is hyperlinked, I mean, we could go into all the hyperlinks if you want to, but I don't think y'all would do that today. But as you're going through them, if you guys have questions, please reach out, okay? There are no dumb questions. If you have the question, somebody else probably has it too. Okay, irregularities. That's our favorite word, right? With a few reminders. Okay, allowable accommodations. Teachers must ensure all students have the proper supports prior to testing. The key word here is prior. And then we're gonna actually look at these accommodation sections. This is actually from the handbook. I'll show you here. There's lots of links in this. Okay, so this is exactly the handbook that we showed y'all before, right? Wherever that cover was. But, okay. These are all of the supports that are in place. The answer eliminator, calculator, highlight and eraser, keyboard navigation, read liner guide, all those great things. And it shows you over here on this side the students who are allowed those accommodations and those who need special things to allow for those accommodations. Okay, so as you can see here, in order for it to be a calculator, students taking math 6th through 12th grade, for us, they do not embed calculators. It has to be something that's written into their AIP. And I believe it's only 4th and 5th grade. I don't think, right, it was kinder and 3rd through 3rd cannot. But 4th and 5th grade, it has to be in their actual IEP. Say again? Oh, it's only 5th? Okay. Okay, another thing that we wanted to look at. I wanted to go to the math manipulatives here. Okay, so in math, students can use concrete objectives or pictures or concrete objects that they can touch or move. 2nd grade, we were talking about this the other day. Remember we said if they can have that shape in their hand, right? But the key is you have to be tracking that student in MTSS. That's the key, okay? So there's a whole slew of accommodations they can get up here, guys. A whole slew. They can use play money, clocks, base 10 blocks, counters, what else? Tiles, fraction pieces that are not labeled. They can use hundreds charts that are labeled, that actually have 100 on them, that's okay. Just all different types of things, but they have to be documented in MTSS. Okay, as a tier 3, they have to be, just like it is for START, it's the exact same thing. This is the perfect time to start documenting those kids for those upper grades because we need them using them effectively between now and STAR. We can't wait until February and give them these accommodations and expect them to use them with fidelity. It's something that we're going to start right now at the beginning of the school year.
So only our tier 3 can have a hundred chart? What, in third grade, can they have a blue hundred chart? They can fill it out, they can use it on the start, am I wrong?
Are you talking about for STAR or for MAP?
I thought the accommodations we could use on the star is what we could use on the map.
Most of them,
Right.
not everything, but most
Do
of
they
them.
have to, what I'm asking is, why do they have to be tier 3 for the hundred chart?
Well, if they have a blank,
Right.
then they have to paper on the STAR test, so they can make their own hundred chart on
That's
that.
what I just asked.
Yeah, everybody makes rapid.
If our routine all year, because 120 chart is one of our go-to manipulations, kids just, they pull it out of their desk and they're actively using, in their whiteboard, they're actively solving problems on their whiteboard. If it's one of our go-to everyday routines that they know that they can use, so you're saying through, but we have to put all 23 kids in
Well,
MTSS?
those kids will, I mean, the whole point of that's a scaffold, that you put it in place so they are using it, that you eventually wanna take it away. And so, and maybe for middle of the year, they do okay without it, but by end of year, they should have mastered it, so they don't even need that extra anymore.
I think it gives them confidence though, that's just the idea there, cause by the end of the year, our second graders are adding triple digit numbers, like that, it's difficult, so just having, I guess even something like the whiteboard.
Yeah.
So that's not scratch paper, but is a whiteboard okay? Without having to do
Well, I don't know.
23.
Ms. Garcia, that's a Ms. Garcia question. I mean, technically, this says, the handbook says they can have scratch paper, it does not say they can have a whiteboard.
Yeah.
That might be something that we might have to,
They can have a whiteboard.
for MAP, not for STAR, for MAP.
It should be.
Okay, we can double check, I just wanna make sure, because remember, this is your TIA, I don't want us to mess up
Right,
any of that, I don't wanna jeopardize.
I would just hate for them to miss out on something that they
Yeah.
regularly do, and they don't use it as a crutch, but it gives them a confidence boost. They pull up that 120 chart, and it's cute, they have a little office set up,
Yeah,
that it'd be nice if they could continue that.
yeah, I mean, I think it's great as well, I don't know what NWP rules state, so that's something that we can see. And do you know off the top of your head?
I haven't heard that happen, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I see your point, like you're using it routinely, but I think it would just be with your MTSS kids, cause like, as Bobby said, you know, eventually you want them to
Right,
not be using it.
it's to start out with, to eventually take away, it's just a scaffold.
Starting to count with your fingers. you know.
Now, Lobby, could they make it? Like
Yeah.
they-
Yes, so they're not allowed to have it if it isn't in their IEP, but they can certainly make it.
They can
Yes.
make it.
They can't be given a hundreds chart unless it's in their IEP.
Right.
They
But they can make it, cause they get scratch paper.
Each child can have blank scratch paper,
Yeah.
Yes, there's can't be any numbers on it, it's gotta be blank.
blank sheet paper.
Yep, and
Yes.
so for STAR, we give them graph paper. So they, fifth grade teaches them right off the bat, they do their multiplication chart. Third grade, do y'all have them do a 100 chart? I don't know what y'all do.
No, if the ones that eventually learn it, they can do it in their graph paper.
Yeah, they do it on their, see, teach them to actually use graph paper with fidelity.
But I've never had them do it.
So
They
kindergarten,
don't really need it by then.
kindergarten, our kids can have sheet of scratch paper, they don't have to get it.
If it's in green, you can go paper.
Yes, you can give them scratch white paper.
Not be a letter or
It can't be a whiteboard, it has to be scratch paper.
Cause they can use the screen protector.
I mean, you're right.
I agree.
So we'll find out about the white. And remember, you don't want them to have a toy either. Are they gonna be drawing it? You gotta be able to teach them to use it. Not for. I think,
Yes. Like, they're doing do 9 plus 10, and they're like, I don't have that many fingers.
So, just so that we're clear, let's confirm for sure, 100%, they can have a sheet of blank paper to write on. Whiteboard and marker, I'm gonna get clarification on, okay? Because it is not in our handbook at this point, that we know of. Okay? So I will clarify that. Don't let me forget, please. Okay. Like it says right here. Look right here. Scratch paper, all students get scratch paper.
Any medium that can be erased or destroyed can maybe used as scratch paper.
Yeah.
So a whiteboard cannot be destroyed.
You can't destroy it.
It can be erased.
Let me get clarification.
Yeah.
This is your TIA buddy, y'all don't wanna make Jack and Jill that. Right?
It can be erased.
And if it's a star combination,
All right, let's talk about text to speech, shall we?
Yeah.
Text to speech, okay.
they don't have a thing going
This says, assigning text to speech designated features. Students in second and third grade taking the math growth test can be assigned text to speech. But, I have to get on my soapbox for a second, y'all. I have to get on my soapbox. Technically, yes, they can have text to speech. Kinder through second, they already get it. I'm sorry, kinder through first, they already get it. If they don't need it, we want to try to build these kids up. We don't want them relying on that, on use Miss Larson's word of a crutch. We don't want it to become a crutch. If they're a third grade reader, do we have to do text to speech, or can we let them stand on their own 2 feet and try to take that test? Because we're building
Different than what you're talking
readers,
about.
right?
Text to speech is when they speak it, and text speech, right, it's what they're texting.
That's speech to text.
Text to speech is there, when they're reading it, it's
reading the question.
It's reading.
Reading the question for them.
Am I saying it backwards?
No.
Or
Speech to text is when they write it.
But our kids can age out of it. Test out of it.
That'd be great. That'd be amazing.
But then they look at us and go, it's not reading to me anymore.
Yes.
Well, that's a personal problem. But in order for us, when we send these guys to 4th and 5th grade, where they don't really have that option anymore, unless they are being tracked in tier 3, it's a beast for them, right? They're struggling to complete the test. Tell me, Council. They're struggling to complete the test. What else? Say it again. It's difficult. It's really difficult. They're struggling to understand what it's saying. They're not comprehending what they're reading necessarily. It's so much different. So, technically, yes, in second and third grade, we can give all of them text to speech, or it reads it to them. But if they are capable, us as coaches are like, man, we want to grow them, we want to push them, we want to give them that uncomfortable.
Why would you make something complicated for somebody who's already struggling to get the comprehension piece and the reading piece at the same time?
How are we going to grow them if we're not pushing them and challenging them?
Not on a test, but for you.
I mean, that's a personal.
I mean, we stopped reading in January, all the tests are done. So, we are already doing, right now, we read up until January. In January, we stopped reading questions and answers, they have the combination things.
I know when I taught and we did not, we didn't third grade, they, unless it was an accommodation, they read it themselves and they did fine.
Which sounds fine.
But, just saying, it's just consider it. Just
Couldn't
consider
we
it before
get
you give them all
dinged
this.
for not giving an accommodation that they were entitled? If we got, I'm not gonna give it to Thompson, because I think she can purchase funds, and then,
Well, you're looking at the data.
well, yeah,
Let the data drive your decisions, right?
when mom is there.
Put it on for the kids that can get it.
I get it, and my readers don't use it, my readers don't even want it.
Okay, then that's great too, that works too, so you're giving them that opportunity to make
Yes,
a choice.
I give them it's there, but most of them don't use it.
Okay, that is fair, that is fair. Ms. Ferrer, do you have anything to add to that? Okay. All right. Okay, this is actually really important. Let me retest will not be allowed if the student does not have a working pair of headphones. This is something that they are being very strict on this year. Guys, check your headphones before you start testing. Because if they go through the whole test, at the end, little Johnny says, oh, my headphones weren't working, they will not let us retest them. So make sure you're practicing that way.
You're on, so you let you go out.
I'm sorry.
If they go to old test and they that's a bigger problem.
You'd be surprised at how it can happen when you show up. Okay, so be careful with that, because Brandy is in your pants tonight, nope, we're out, we're done. We're just the messengers right now. Okay, failure to give students, with documented needs or supports will be a testing irregularity. So make sure that you have all of their accommodations already preset. I know that happened several times last year, or maybe even in the beginning of the year. It's like, oh man, I didn't have their text-to-speech turned on. It's an irregularity. So, and that's gonna go against, unfortunately, against the teacher. So just be aware of that. And that's kind of why they're saying do it beforehand now, do it up front before you start the test. That way there's no question and you don't forget, okay? And then a testing irregularity form will be completed by the test administrator.
The TA.
The TA, thank
Whoever
you.
the teacher is.
The teacher who set up the testing session and the POC. That's Ms. Herrera.
So I have to document what is going on.
I mean, just something we noticed, that when we're giving the test, we kept getting the reset, they would just.
Yeah, that was a system switch where you guys went.
That was a map, that was an NWA.
Yeah,
Is that something they'll get taken care of?
No, that's perfectly understandable.
It should, it
Yeah.
should.
So that's not a regularity, that's just.
No, not on the teacher, no.
Okay.
That's not on you
And
guys.
sometimes their sound will cut out
Just right in the middle.
right in the middle, and it's not the headphones. It's text.
It's the
And you have to
platform.
reset it, and then their sound will come back
But
on.
what happens is remember, when we open the window, it's all of Northeast's window.
Everybody.
Right.
It's everybody on,
We're flooding
That
the
I was
system.
just like,
There's an influx of testers that day.
yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys won't have all the issues that y'all had last week. We're gonna knock on some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Fingers
There's no
crossed.
crazy.
Sounds like a plan. I just felt like that was like part of the kids.
Yeah, I know, I
Just
understand.
stop and start, stop and start, stop and start.
Yes.
Made it hard for them to focus.
Is this me or you?
Okay. Students should never be given the support, assets such as reading passages on the map reading growth assessment. Oh, yes. So if we do give them text-to-speech, and it's the reading piece, the reading side of it, it's only the questions and the directions and the answer choices. It cannot be the actual passages. Okay, that's very, very, very important. There is an option in there where you can turn that on. Don't accidentally turn that on. Don't do it. If you're confused, call us, we will come and help you with it, okay? 'Cause I don't know why they didn't give us that.
I know,
Yeah,
we're not supposed to use
Why
the
not give it away, right?
because they wanna dig it.
Yeah.
And math, if you click it, it reads the graphs
Crazy,
so you can get on.
but not for reading.
Not for reading.
Okay, that makes sense why it does. Okay. If the student is tested without a support that the teacher should have provided, retesting will not be allowed. So that's the second time in this presentation they've said that. Make sure you have their accommodation set before the test starts. Okay. And then retests can only be completed within the testing window. So once that window is closed, like a DEUA, we can actually ask them to reopen it under certain circumstances. But for this, they cannot open it. They can't, they physically cannot. So make sure it's within the window. Okay, any questions about that? Everybody good? Is everybody happy to be here? Thank you, Ms. Settles. Ms. Settles is always so positive. So glad you're back.
Okay guys, so this is the criteria to submit a retest, and it's pretty much the same. So for the update for 25-26, it's 30% or more rapid guessing, and you can look at that on the student profile, you can check that out. Anybody that received assistance, like the students, they had their phone, they were cheating, they were caught cheating, that could be a retest. Standard error measure, it's usually 5.5 or higher in these grades, just, it's a combination of the rapid guessing and then how fast they went through that test. And so that's how they accumulate this standard error measure, okay? And so if it is for second grade on up, if it's above 5.5 or above, that you can go ahead and ask for a retest for that student. Meeting 3 other criteria measures, You wanna put down, please? Yes, please. So in order to get a retest, they'll have to have 3 of these combined. Whether that's, number 1, the student has to show rapid guessing of 10% or more. They also have to show that SEM 4.5 or higher. Or it also shows the duration of 20 minutes or less, like they took 20 and less to take that test. But you have to have a combination of 3 of them. Or the percent correct of less than 35 or more than 65%, and that's something that we see on our end and the admin's end. And they have to have at least 3 of those in order for a retest. Okay? Yes, we're gonna show the, everybody.
So they're getting very, I know we've said this already, but they're getting very strict with it, because from beginning of year, they had to reset so many tests. And it's not just them flipping a switch, it's actually a process that Panda has to go through. And so they're being very strict on this, so please, please, please be careful. If you guys have questions, ask us, we will come over there and set it up, okay? So that these don't happen. That's the key.
And then another retest request could be if the test was terminated. We need all of our students tested, so if that does happen, that's actually a qualification for retesting. And then, this is new, a drop of 20 points from your RIT score, so from fall to winter. If your student dropped 20 points within that band, we can have a retest. So, and that's brand new this winter.
Good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
It happens, those things happen.
And it does happen,
It does happen.
so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so that's a good thing, I'm glad they added that.
Yeah, and I will.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so where can I get help? This again is gonna be in the presentation, so these are all hyperlinked. But there's all kinds of places in here, guys. This is the NWEA website. It has lots of stuff in here. NWEA. And all this stuff, it's all clickable, it's all hyperlinked, so. I'm a big, supporter of the Control F and Control Find when you're looking for specific things, that way you don't have to read everything you're looking for. A specific question. Here's Panda.
Email Panda.
You can email them. And again, here's the handbook again. The handbook is linked in here like 16 times.
Yeah.
So pretty much you decide.
They really want you to print it.
They really want you to look at it and read it. And then if you need to do a retest request, yes, it says that it is located in the Launchpad.
Yeah, it's in the maps. Once you click on maps, it's, there'll be it'll say retest request, and it's like a Google form. And you're going to fill it out.
But they need to come to you, right, if they're gonna retest?
Yeah,
They need to
usually,
let you know.
yeah, for the most, they usually do little teams and like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what happened.
Just to kind of,
Yeah,
that way we can back you up and support you guys.
yeah,
So,
cause then Panda will email admin, us, and then teachers.
yeah. But just don't do it, don't do your retest when you come. That's our goal, that's your goal, we're gonna write on this sticky and put it on your desk.
Okay, so can you please, use your phones for the oath?
We better talk about.
No, we don't.
No, we're not done, so don't leave yet, okay, wait, one more thing.
Pre-K too? Pre-K?
Pre-K, no.
Oh,
don't-
CLI actually opens the first, so December first.
We are open.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I got open December first.
You did for beginning of year, I think. Oh, you received an email?
So it's like some people don't get credit.
I know, but then she said, oops, it wasn't meant for
I know,
everybody.
she was sending, Brandy was sending out like credit and then saying you didn't do it, it was, a lot of people received double, I got like 4 or 5 emails.
So I ignored her.
Did you see
It was a
those?
mis- she said the last one, she said the SD.
Yeah, same for me, I was like,
Yes.
Like we're one of them.
We're gonna go.
I did the beginning.
Yes.
Now that I see our choice, we'll talk.
Yeah. I was like, yes, we got it. And my son was like, am I on it? Is my school on there? I'm like, no.
No, I
But thank you for your Are y'all logging? Maybe try logging out. Turn your light off. Okay, please raise your hand if you need more time when you vote. Does anybody need more time? Okay, take another minute. Yeah, we're all trying to log in. You guys are good? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, guys, so the last part of it is, if we get, so usually K through second, y'all have the window already. Usually the first week is reading growth, second week is math, and then y'all have makeups. That's, K through second is very consistent with the window. Now, third through fifth is a little different. I know the GLCs get with their team, so if you can please get with your team and give us the dates that y'all wanna test, by this Friday, because it's gonna help our SPED team out. Our SPED team is gonna get together, and they're gonna be, formulating those groups for you, for grade level, whomever your SPED teacher is for that grade level, and they're gonna be calculating those groups for y'all. So, if you could please have those dates third through fifth, for us, and for the rest of them. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Ms. Malcolm? Or Ms. Nicholas?
We have ours on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
It could be not a Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe? Not a Tuesday, Wednesday? I know. The earlier is better than being Monday, not Monday. I have ours on the ninth, but for ours, that's
What day is the ninth, Patricia? Is that a Monday or Tuesday?
The ninth is a Tuesday.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
It's usually adjustable until like the next day or something, like, is that a problem? You can't, they have to all be on the same day?
No.
So she always adjusts, she'll just pull the kids who she needs with her on those days.
That's fine, we can do that. And this will give them time, at least the SPED team will have at least 2 weeks to go over their groups and notify y'all when they're gonna pull and who they're gonna pull. So, so we'll have a little bit of collaboration there among the SPED and then.
Yeah, we send it to you, we send it to them, and we can.
I think so, I think that would work out well.
But I think Guerrero brought up a great point. The earlier in the week, the better, so you'll have time for makeups. Because some of those kids are gone in 2 to 3 days, right? Yeah, so we need them to be here for that testing. And then once we, for makeups, we're like, let the behavior test, SPED has pulled their groups. We will help with the makeups, the coaches.
Yeah.
So we will get with y'all and schedule that. Obviously, we can't do it until we know who's not here,
Yeah,
just as an FYI.
we can help with that. For
And
sure.
the other thing,
We'll
that
just do-
question that came up was behaviors. Can behaviors be pulled in a small group? That was something that came up at the beginning of the year. And just like STAR, the same process, if you're documenting them for behavior in tier 3, that can be somebody who gets pulled out. But if you're not documenting them, you're just dealing with it in your classroom. We love you for doing it, but we have to have that documentation to say this is why they need small group. So just as, again, as an FYI. So if you're documenting for behavior in tier 3, can be pulled into a small group. For math, this is for math. And so then,
I'm sorry, Ms. Guido?
What
So
would
that's the
be-
thing is, we do have you know, we do have extra staff on hand, we have, thank God, from Mrs. Ruby, Ms. Daniel.
Right.
These are two that, I know they pull 504, they help us with 504, but they can also be helping Sped with that. Yeah, you know, we were trying to tag team and, cause it's a short month, and it's gonna go by really fast, that's why coaches will take on, you know, whoever has, you know, makeup test, whoever they need tested, and then we can go from there.
Just as a reminder, if we have a lot of kids who have accommodation in a small group, just because they have that accommodation does not mean that they have to be taken out of your classroom. Cause your classroom could be a small group as well.
Yes.
Like if you have 8, and we have 8, and we both have small groups.
Yes. One less.
Pull out. Small groups.
For
are
Star.
reporting
IEP for Star is 10.
10 for Star.
What's
10.
the numbers?
One less in Kogat, right? Yeah, but okay, but Star is 10. Okay.
I don't know if there is a number, actually.
Mm.
Sorry, there is a number, 10, right? Okay, so 10.
10.
We're heavy on students, let's make sure that everybody's.
I know who you guys are, so we can talk about it. Figure it out.
Was there any other questions, guys? We're gonna let you guys here, but please make sure we have the dates, our third group day, and then Sped team can work on their group, and get into it. And we'll go from there.
Hopefully by Friday, if possible.
Yes.
Alright.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Everybody gets one Skittle, one Skittle for all.
Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, yay.